3DO.
Hello, and welcome to a very special, pre-recorded episode of a personal old favorite game of mine. Favorite of me and my dear old father, may God rest his soul. Might and Magic 7, for blood and honor. I'll be mostly silent during this opening bit, but I'll add commentary here and there.
Master Iron Fist, Lieutenant Kalik and Sergeant Piridak reporting.
Proceed.
While dutifully patrolling the beach at Brighton Point as ordered, we detected a large raiding party of 40 elves invading our territory. When the time was right, we attacked.
Oh, how brave.
The enemy fell back before the fury of our attack. We accepted our duty to defend our fair land. We killed at least half a dozen of them before they knew what was happening. The rest ran like pigs from an axe. We gave chase, and I saw with my... What is so amusing, Master?
Nothing. Continue.
He knows you're full of shit.
Of course. As I was saying, we were chasing the goblins, shooting them in the backs because they would not stand and fight honorably.
Regrettable, but necessary.
Yes, Your Majesty. We had slain nearly all of the goblins when we saw the sea monsters approaching. At first, we thought they had come to help the goblins, but it soon became clear their arrival had nothing to do with the fight on the beach. We ran for cover in the rocks. Each was carrying a bag around his waist, and each was wearing a curious amulet that looked like a small black box.
What? Wait a minute. Go back.
You mean the part where I personally slew 2 elves with a single arrow?
No. After that lie. Tell me about the boxes.
They were about 1.5 inches on the side and made of smooth black metal. We couldn't get a closer look.
Those boxes sound like something out of legend. What happened next?
The sea people began to quarrel, when one group turned abruptly and started walking away down the beach. The remaining started walking the other way. In the morning, we found that one of them had shed its skin on the beach. Their tracks had washed away in the tide, so we decided to return to base and report.
Thank you for your report, Lieutenant Kalik. I am pleased to hear something interesting for once. You are promoted to captain. Assemble a search party at once and find those sea people. If you succeed, you can keep the promotion, as well as your life. Oh, and Kalik, one more thing.
Good luck.
This game was at that weird period, in graphical fidelity of games where the CG was decent. Like, I kind of like the look of the CG. I'll admit, I'm talking with big thick rose-tinted goggles here. But it looks like plasticine, and I got a bit of a preference boner for that as well. But the game graphics itself kind of suck. But I can live with it. Anyway, starting a new game. You got your classic 4. They give you like a setup of they give you a setup for a party. I like to be a little more personal with it, so I just clean them all out. Now, I'm not sure if I want to do a party that's balanced or if I want to do a party that's like overpowered but has like flaws. Because what I was thinking, not going to do it with a goblin, though, but I was going to think cleric, sorcerer. Because they have access to the best magic of the self school and the elemental school, respectively. And just having a double means you just do more. Excuse me. Oh, jeez. I should not have had an unspecified carbonated beverage before doing this. Said while he drinks some more. But you know what? I think at first I'm going to go through the classes, introduce you to them. Knight, classic pure melee guy. Doesn't actually do a lot out of combat, but he's very good in melee combat. He's only second to the archer, I believe, with the bow as well, so he's at least decent at range. Again, the only class that can Grandmaster plate armor, one of the only ones that can Grandmaster swords, good stuff like that. They obviously made the Goblin start with it, because it's a little weird. In the Heroes of Might and Magic games, Goblins are the little green people that are like disposable waves. But in the Might and Magic games, the Goblins are more like orcs. Because, I mean, you saw them in the cutscene. They were, like, 5 foot, 6 foot tall green humanoids. With oddly stacked women. Yeah, so, the Goblins in this are more like orcs. So they're the typical strong guys. In this case, they're also very fast. But, about dumb as a post and about as charismatic as a turnip. I don't know why a turnip, but work with me. Anyway, so of the pure classes, you got the Knight, the pure melee. The Cleric is not pure caster, because it's not like in, let's say, World of Warcraft, where the Priest in that is a squishy clothy. The Cleric in this is more like the classic Dungeons and Dragons Cleric, where he's, borderline melee, but has holy spells to back it up. In this case, the magic of the self, body, mind, and spirit. They are also one of the only classes that can get light and dark magic, but that's not one you can start with. That's one you got to get later, based on which way you go at the turning point of the story. Cleric is one of the highest tier classes in this game. I want to say, if you don't want to get into a whole tiers argument, simply because they can Grandmaster 3 schools of magic that are very important. They can Grandmaster Merchant, which lets you purchase things at cost and sell them at cost, which completely breaks the economy. And I'm pretty sure they can Grandmaster Repair, or at least they have really good repair. Meaning, you can fix your own stuff pretty easily. Other pure classes. There's not actually a lot of them in this game. Most of the classes are hybrids of the 4 pure classes, because then there's Sorcerer, the pure magic caster, is the guy who casts spells that makes the numbers come up and make the peoples fall down. But in addition, a lot of utility spells in this game. Because this is a very old school RPG. I mean, as you probably saw with the copyright, this is a game from '97. This is the age when mages were mages. Mages were powerful people, and are powerful characters in games. So, but they had the typical failing of they're about as useless as a kitten in a sword fight, and at the beginning when their magic sucks as well. But then when their magic completely eclipses anything else later in the game. It's kind of ridiculous, but it's so much fun and I love doing it. I always have at least one sorcerer in a party if I can manage it, or a druid if I'm going light magic. I mean light amount, not element. Because sorcerer can also use light and dark magic, and one of the only casters that can grandmaster it along with the cleric. One of the other pure classes is the monk. Now the monk is actually new in Might and Magic 7, so still very old because the game is, but it's relatively new. It's the classic, guy who can fight without weapons and can be defended without armor shtick, which is always a little weird in a game like this, because, I mean, Might and Magic 6, the game was all about being armed to the teeth, pretty much. So that to have a character that's basically running around naked, beating the snot out of people with his fists, is a little weird. But it does work, and so he's a kind of like a replacement for the knight, because he does basically the same thing, only with less upkeep. Because the knight, on the other hand, is the guy who multiplies the effectiveness of your gear a lot. So, yeah, I might use, if I do go with the standard 4 instead of overdoing it on the casters, I might go monk thief instead of knight thief. Because knight takes a while to kick in. The monk does too, but monk kicks in faster. And with way less gold investment. And like I said, we have the thief, who is, decent in a fight, not as nearly as good as the warrior, but he does attack faster, because you typically give him a pair of daggers, and, that old trope, and, he just kind of fills a guy with holes, versus, chopping a guy in half in one swing. They can steal. Stealing is kind of useless in this game. you don't need it to make mad bank. Let's put it that way. They're definitely the skills guy. They have a lot of skills that they can use to very good effect. Like they can't max out everything, but they can get like master in like almost everything. Disarm trap is like the one exception because that's like their thing. Yeah, not very good at alchemy. Although there are more skills than these, by the way. This is just the ones they give you. They can give you for free at the start. You get 2 for every class, and you get to pick 2 depending on what you want in particular. So yeah, those are the pure classes. Now we start getting into the hybrids. Paladin is a hybrid cleric and knight. Better combat, but worse magic. They have to keep getting their class upgrades to get better magic, and they can't even grandmaster their spells. And they can't even level up their light or dark magic at all, but they get basic. That's still pretty good. Light and dark magic is ridiculously powerful. They're more about maces than swords. Yeah, they can't grandmaster the sword. I mean, they can still master the sword, though, which is good, because that gives you the offhand sword attack. Or, well, you can put a sword in your offhand and then just use whatever you want in the main hand. X? No. I think they can do... No, actually, they're really bad at merchant. They are the Grandmaster repair guy, yes. They are the guy who can get repair to Grandmaster, which gives you 100% odds of repairing any broken thing in the game, including artifacts and relics. And something I'm not going to spoil yet, just in case... Because I imagine a lot of people have not played this game that watch my channel. And I kind of don't want to spoil the big surprise later in the game as one of the cooler items you can get in this. Oh, they can't get that. Alright, anyway. Ranger. Now, the Ranger is ridiculous, because... Okay, for first, the Druid. The Druid is the hybrid caster. It's both a cleric... Excuse me, it's both a cleric and a sorcerer at the same time. However, it can only master all of its magic. And it cannot get light and dark. However, it gets 7 schools of magic. That's kind of insane. Although you do run into the problem of splitting your points a little too thin between that, possibly alchemy, because they're the only people who can grandmaster it, and also like a weapon and armor of some kind. Now, anyway, the Druid, the Ranger is technically 3 classes in one. It is a Druid, so that's cleric and sorcerer, and a warrior at the same time. You cross between knights and druids. Learn the most broadest range of skills, but grandmasters almost none of them. They're about the only ones. They can only grandmaster the axe, or is one of the things they grandmaster. But like as you can see, they can only expert like a whole lot of stuff. Oh, they master bow. Yeah, so it's kind of hard to. They don't have a niche really, other than the fact that they can do a little bit of everything. So like if you're completely unsure what to put as your 4th character, put a ranger in. The archer is the warrior / sorcerer, and obviously has a focus on range, even though it is a class that's, you know, able of meleeing. They're good with the spear, if I recall correctly. Sort of. I do believe their only weapon grandmaster is the bow, because obviously that's their thing. And so they're the only ones who can do actually completely feasible damage with them in the end game. So yeah, that's another possibility actually I might use for my knight slot. Because, hang on, because if a thief, checking my time here, if a thief can, a thief can only get to expert, I don't know, maybe. Yeah, archer, yeah, actually that's all the classes. So, I'm going to go make my party here now. Clear up everything. Now, I don't like using the goblin unless I'm going with a knight, because they have crap magic stats, and every class except the knight and the monk have magic, and the monk gets magic later, so, yeah, because, well, the monk kind of turns into a cleric partially, or it kind of turns into a paladin, I should say, partially. Okay, so, some humans.
I'm your please.
Don't get me killed.
I won't, don't worry. Much. Okay, so human. Yeah, we're gonna go with the archer strats. Human archer. Human. You know, yeah, I'll go with the thief. He'll be like the one character who's not very good at range. That's fine. Dwarf.
How about you?
No.
I'm your Sally. I'm your man. Please.
Don't pick me.
There we go. She's good.
Pick what could go wrong.
Definitely want a human here too. Or, yeah, human for this as well. The one non-human will be an elf. I'm mostly picking a lot of human characters because the human characters have the most balanced stats, as you can see here. Whereas the elves have penalties on might and endurance, making them absolute garbage in melee combat, but the intelligence and the speed, or intelligence bonus makes them very good at spell, being sorcerers and whatnot, and the accuracy bonus makes them very good at range. Actually, with that in mind...
Pick me.
Come on, pick me.
Hey, oh, come on. Take me.
Yeah, do it like that instead. Because I imagine at some point she's going to be... Her bow is going to be more, I'm out of mana. Although, early game it'll be what you use instead, because her spells will be shit at first. Thief, Cleric, Sorcerer... Yeah, okay. This looks good. And I had a bit of a fun thought for, I had a bit of a fun thought for the name. Explode. Ding. Laser. Beebs. A bit of a thing on the channel, so why not? Okay, so skills. Don't want to get her any of the... Yeah, so get leather armor. Perception. Kind of need a melee weapon though, don't I? Ugh. Not sure what to get. Well, I'll tell you what. So getting the ones that are expensive. Because... Or get the skills that are expensive to purchase later. Because, you know, save some money. Okay, get you your bow. Get you your leather armor. Yes, get you your leather armor. For the casters, just get the other spell schools. I'm not going to need earth yet, so just air and water is fine. Now, there's a bit of a trick in the first zone. You remove luck from all of your characters. There's a well you can drink from that gives you luck up to 14. Although there's not quite enough uses in it to get everyone to 14, but you get like everyone to like 12 pretty easily, so it's not too bad. Now, I know she's going to be a character that fights, but I'm not planning on fighting in melee all that much. Okay, make you stupid. Make you crass. Make you crass. Keep your intelligence. I'm not going to boost it, though. Thieves get basic magic, or like basic elemental magic when they upgrade a few times, but, you know, it's not going to blow the doors off anything. But a few points never hurt anyone. Make you crass. Don't want to hurt the endurance or the... In fact, I kind of want to boost it. I don't remember what the break points are, but I know you need to get past like 11 to get a bonus instead of a penalty in your stats. So, you know, do that. What the heck do I level for the thief? Well, the endurance, like I said, so that nobody's rocking penalty on health. Get you to the cap. Get you to the cap. Well, it doesn't cap at 30, but it caps at 30 at creation. I guess I can dump some points in speed. Because speed is like a god tier stat in this, because it affects both casting speed and, what do you call it? Casting speed and, like, melee speed. Because it just affects how quickly you recover from performing any action. Yeah, might as well. Okay, gonna be another short cutscene. I'll let you guys enjoy it in its CG plasticine glory. And hopefully we'll actually get to some gameplay in this episode. Ooh, shiny.
Hear ye, hear ye. The Emerald Island scavenger hunt is about to begin. The list of objects has been given to all contestants. As you know, The winners of the contest will be awarded title to Castle Harmony and the surrounding lands. Be careful. Emerald Island can be dangerous. Last night, 3 contestants disappeared, and we are concerned for their safety. During the contest, please be on the lookout for our missing contestants.
Oh god, that frame rate.
If you find a piece of equipment in the woods, return at once with the clue. It may save their lives. There have been rumors that some kind of monster is loose on the island and may be hiding in one of the caves. If you see a cave you are unfamiliar with, don't go into it. Send someone back to town, and the guards will conduct a search for you. We don't want anyone else to get hurt. And one more thing. We have... sorry. We have reports that the monster may be a dragon.
Rawr.
If you see it, run for your lives.
Okay, jumped right into the inventory on me. Whoa. Okay. Oh, there we go. Just wasn't loaded in. I hope that's in the recording, because that's kind of funny. Okay, so, this game's very Dungeons & Dragons, actually. You know, stat screen, hit points, armor class, all that jazz. To hit, you know. I don't know what the dice size is. Like, I know in Dungeons & Dragons you normally roll a 20-sided dice, or a D20, as it's more commonly known. But I don't know if you roll like a D20 in this, or a D100. Like, it doesn't... It's invisible numbers. You don't see them. Might as well equip my weapons. No, I don't want to equip my armor yet. Whoops. Because... Where's my cleric? Cleric's the one who'll be selling everything eventually.
A new spell.
Having the armor on reduces the speed of your actions, and it doesn't make enough of a benefit at this point for it to be, you know, all that worth it. Now, you know, because, like, leather armor gives you 4. You know, like, I already have +3 myself, or, well, you got +0, but most of my characters have +0. You got -1. Okay, so you're going to have to get the accuracy bonuses first. But yeah, it doesn't make enough of a benefit this early in the game to be wearing armor or to not be wearing armor, but it does make enough of a benefit to gimp your attack speed, pretty much.
Can't wait to cast
At least until, because eventually, especially with leather armor, you spec far enough into it, you lose the penalty. See, expert recovery penalty eliminated, so you can wear it and still basically be as fast as if you were naked. So you know, that's pretty good.
This should be useful. This should be useful.
Oh, I didn't change her voice.
This should be useful.
Or did I? Yeah, she isn't like whiny bitch. That's good, because her default voice is very, very grating. She might have guessed by me calling it a whiny bitch. Alright, that's just you get, like, you can have NPCs that give you passive benefits, or have like a cooldown that you can use like once a day or whatever. This is just the tutorial person, so I'm just going to shut her up. All she does is tell you, like, this is the item shop, this is the weapon shop, blah, blah, blah. And I'm glad, 1, it's in the game, and 2, it can be turned off. You don't need to, you know, you're not beholden to it. No, I don't have perception yet, so I am not going to loot anything, because perception is basically item find for things like that. Don't have a lot of money. As you can see, the game's a little dated. I mean, like, these aren't 3D models. These are 2D models that keep, like, facing you. Although, in this one, they're actually a lot better in this one, because they actually have more definition and whatnot. Different shops. Alright, this is the fountain I was talking about that gives you the luck bonuses. Okay, so everyone's at 9. Now, I've just learned now that 11 isn't high enough for a bonus. 11 is in fact a penalty, so I'm gonna want to get everyone to like 13 if I can. Aw, bugger. Alright, well, that's all I can do. Now, I'm gonna look for a specific pair of people, because I love getting a scholar as one of my first people. Enchanter. A scholar gives you bonus experience, So, as you all know, I love the concept of compound interest in video games. And for the record, I am aware that what I'm talking about is usually not actually compound interest, but the idea... Oh yeah, there's a box here. The idea of... Oh yeah, give me some better bows. The idea of something that keeps paying out dividends as you go. Was I going to bother with alchemy in this? Yeah, probably. Sorcerer is usually what you do for that. You know, just the idea of something that keeps paying out dividends as you go. You know, that's compound interest to me. At least in video games. And so, you know... Oh, shoot, how do I... Oh, I don't have enough luck, do I? Shoot. I've played this game a lot, but I forget some of the little details. Like, I think you need a certain amount of luck to trigger this fountain to give you free money. You know, not infinite free money, but, you know, a bunch of free money. And actually, I actually do know how I could get that free money. Because there's an item, there's a pedestal on this island that gives you the Day of the Gods buff, which is a insanely powerful light spell that gives you, like, basically a huge bonus to all of your stats on all of your characters. And, as the name suggests, it lasts 24 hours. Or, you know, game... Oh, hello! So, combat. As you can see, I can actually pause it, and everything goes into turn-based mode. Or I could run around in, like, you know, FPS mode, pretty much. Make sure I'm not running too low on time here before I get into the thick of it. 4 minutes, alright, I'm gonna have to make it quick. I don't think... No, we do not have any attacks, so... Bleh. You should have... Yeah, you have that.
Yes.
Let's shoot you with my brain. And you... have this.
Yes.
Shoot you with poison. There we go. And you just shoot him with arrows. Hey. Alright, now... There's a couple of NPCs nearby, so they'll deal with them. Other contestants in this scavenger hunt. Bam. So now that I have the mad stats, I should be able to hit that switch, or hit that well, and get myself a bunch of free money, which is always a good thing to start with in a game like this. Or in any game, really. Oh, and there is also... Yeah, there's a whole lot in this game. Like, I often play this game kind of on autopilot because I just know it so well. Or at least I know most of it really well, particularly this opening area. So, okay, this is a thing that gives you free skill points, which is normally what you get when you level up to make your skills better. I mean, kind of obvious there. But I got it. But these games of, you know, stat are, you know, do you have X stat? Here's free points. Because I have insanely inflated stats at the moment, as you can see. Obviously, I have more than enough stats to get the thingamajig from it. To get the chummies from the chummy jigger. Spacebar is used in this, so you might hear me mashing it sometimes if I'm like looking for secret walls or something. Huh. Damn, it must be tied to base luck then. Shoot. Oh well. I'm actually starting to run out of time here. I want to keep these episodes at least 30-ish minutes long. So I'm going to actually leave it here. We'll get a little deeper into the whole game, because we spent a lot of time just derping around on the character creation screen. But hopefully we'll get to... See, this button has always bothered me. It says it's a button, but it doesn't do anything. Anyway, hopefully we'll get to play more of the game. We'll get to see more of an old classic that I absolutely love to pieces, and we'll get to just have grand old RPG adventures. So anyway, save the game, save it over this one. This was just me screwing around trying to get everything working with the recording. Recording party. Actually, no. Exploding laser beams. Oh, it doesn't fit. Oh, I have to take the spaces out. Laser beams. There we go. Okay, so exploding laser beams has been saved. I will see you all another time. These videos will be obviously pre-recorded and whatnot, so you know, you'll probably be able to watch the next episode immediately after this one. I will be recording it whenever I feel like it. Ciao.